Welcome to another edition of the MMA Rundown. I'm Drew Shannon.
I'm Albert Cameron. And Drew, I hope you had a very good holiday.
I had an excellent holiday. How was yours?
Better than I deserve, man.
All right. And of course, this is the final MMA Rundown of 2012. And with it, we, of course, are going to be doing our news and notes segment, but we also, later on, are going to be delving into some of the best things that have happened in the past year.
2012 was a fantastic year for mixed martial arts, especially regional mixed martial arts like our region. So we wanted to count down those 10 best moments. I was going to try to do 5, but there were just too many to.
You got to do
5.
10.
We got to do 5 or 10.
Everybody does top 10 lists at the end of the year, so why not?
Yeah. Also, because this is the last episode of the year, we're doing a marathon spotlight fight. The first 3 fights from Complete Devastation 4 back to back to back.
Yes,
right here.
When you see them, you'll know why we were able to air all 3 of them. Just a little hint, not too long. But we've got that all coming up and a whole lot more of your emails and all sorts of great stuff. That's coming up next. And, of course, it's all brought to you by Friendlies in Altoona, PA. It's the MMA Rundown. Stick around. Welcome back to the MMA Rundown. It's time, one more time for 2012, the final time for 2012, for news and notes.
Drew, take it away like only you can.
It's go time. Phil Roni is set to fight Japanese MMA legend Hayato Mahak Sakurai at Dream 18 tomorrow night. This is further evidence that the Glory 1 FC deal is committed to bringing Asian MMA back to the forefront.
I called it. When
yes, you did.
Dream and 1FC and Glory signed this big deal, I said, this is what the American promotions just couldn't do. Phil Roni, of course, is a huge big time before we hit the MMA boom. He was a middleweight that couldn't be stopped. He went over to Japan. He fought in Pride. He's fought in Dream. So he's still a relatively big name. He's still relevant. Sakurai, legend. He's right up there with the Sakurabas, the Atsukas, and a bunch of other guys from Pride and legendary stuff. So now all these fights are coming together, and we're going to see bigger fights like this. And I think that's great coming out of Japan. Japan's really taking back their market share, and we shall be very glad.
That's right. When I say the word "woo," what do you think of?
I think of bleach blonde hair, grandiose robes, and some guy getting knifed across the chest as hard as he can.
Nature Boy Ric Flair says nobody in MMA could have beaten Harley Race, Stan Hansen, or Haku
Meng.
Whatevs. Is the pro wrestling versus MMA discussion more hype at this point?
I still think Ric Flair is relevant. I really do. And the names he's throwing out there were legitimate tough guys. And these are guys who were wrestling in the 60s, who had the benefit of the Carl and Frank Gotchas, who knew catch wrestling, who knew, good submission holds. There was no doubt in my mind that these guys were very tough guys. I just have no idea why they want to bring it up right now. I have no idea who Ric Flair is affiliated with right now as far as wrestling goes. That's more your realm.
I don't know that he's affiliated with anyone. Last I knew, he's affiliated with Dixie Carter and TNA Impact.
And I think even that went sour. So, I don't know if Ric Flair's trying to get his name back on the map. Would I put a Junior Dos Santos or a Crow Cop up against those guys? Yeah, but that's because I like combat sports and I want to see these guys fight any chance they get.
I would have loved to have seen a Dan Severn taking on Harley Race or Stan Hansen or Haku.
Now, see, mentioning pro wrestlers who are talking about MMA, Dan Severn was recently on record and said that professional wrestling was tougher than MMA for him. And the reason for that being, not that MMA is easy by any stretch of the imagination, but the travel time, performing multiple times in a week. He said all of his serious injuries came from professional wrestling and not so much from mixed martial arts. But I agree with you. I think Dan Severn versus Stan Hansen or Harley Race would be a fantastic match to watch.
But in an MMA bout, not a wrestling bout, not pro wrestling. I'm talking MMA. Stan Hansen at least.
Yeah, I think Dan Severn would be able to hold his own in a shoot-style wrestling match, like Pancrase used to do.
Right.
I think even Dan Severn would be able to hold his own there. But again, any way you slice it, it'd be a good bout to watch.
Well, Bad News Allen, also former WWE, WWF superstar, got into the shoot fighting game for a while there.
These guys are legitimately tough. I'm not saying that Ric Flair is saying that it was hyping, inflating these guys all. I'm just saying that, why bring it up right now?
Right, exactly. Yeah. All right, moving on. Notorious Nick Newell he wins the XFC title. Newell says it's easier for me to get attention, but it's harder to get respect. Newell says of fighting, he says this about fighting with one arm.
Nick Newell is no joke. The dude is a stud. He's solid. He's got great chops. He's got excellent ground game. He's submitted guys, but he only fights with one glove because he's missing part of his arm.
Right.
But in no time has Nick Newell ever tried to use that as a way to gain sympathy. It's just another challenge for Newell to overcome. I think that's fantastic, and I think the fact that guys like that are able to go out and compete is just very inspiring. And I think we should all celebrate anyone who's getting in the cage to fight, anyone who's getting in the ring to wrestle. I think that's just fantastic, and I thought it was very newsworthy to bring up.
All right, and a national survey finds interest in MMA is up. Evidence that MMA boom is still growing, quite possibly. I think so.
Who called it? Yeah. MMA is still getting huge. I mean, and you can tell this by every time that you go to a local fight, more and more people are showing up.
Right.
Every time you watch a UFC, they're doing bigger and better pay-per-view numbers. The reason why guys like Bellator and K1 are getting signed to Spike TV, why smaller promotions are getting on Comcast Sportsnet, it's because we're rallying, and we should absolutely keep it up. And random people were surveyed and it said, hey, we still have a waxing interest in mixed martial arts.
All right, coming up, the MMA Rundown's 10 biggest moments of 2012. That's in our next segment right here on the MMA Rundown. Stick around. Welcome back to the MMA Rundown, the final MMA Rundown of 2012. We will be back in 2013, true believers, and you're not going to miss a single episode. Right now, let's look back on the year that was 2012 and the MMA Rundown's 10 biggest moments. Let's start off at number 10. Obviously, the MMA Rundown hits the airwaves on ABC 23 and on YouTube.
Number 9, Sean the Muscle Shark Shirt coming to Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Not only just to make an appearance, but he also did a clinic at a local gym here in Altoona to show the younger guys, this is what I'm about, and I'd be happy to share it with you.
WCC recovers from a major cancellation with an even bigger event. They had an issue in October with WCC 5, and then they came back last month with was it last month or earlier this? Was it earlier this month?
I'm getting old. It's hard to tell.
It was earlier this month. I for some reason I thought it was in November, but it was early this month. They came back, and from what I understand, it was an incredible card.
Huge. Number 7, we talked about it last week. Tanya Dixon settles the rubber match with Eric the Monster Moon. What an emotional match that was, and Tanya Dixon was very emotional after the match in the interview. We're actually going to show that later in the episode.
Number 6, Cage Wars veteran Jim Ehlers defeats Noe Quintanilla in Altoona, PA.
One of the bigger names coming to Altoona, and he exploded right after he appeared in Complete Devastation.
Exactly.
Number 5, Maggie O'Neill and Courtney Kern bring women's MMA to our backyards.
I gotta say, I would think that this would rate a little bit higher.
Normally I'd agree with you, but I think the top 4, they all carry their weight in a special way, but I think the top 4 just really kind of brought a little more gravity.
But ladies, welcome to the dance. We appreciate you coming, and we can't wait to see you again.
Very good job.
Number 4, Complete Devastation MMA veterans Jordan Rinaldi and Jeff Smith are announced to be on The Ultimate Fighter Season 15.
I remember when that happened, when the announcement came. I was texting you, I was texting our production director. It was big for us. I mean, personally, because we talked to these guys, we called their fights.
Right.
It was a really big deal for us. Number 3, Corey Hill defeats Daryl Madison with the Anaconda choke to end all Anaconda chokes, and Altoona blew up.
It was unreal. We were at cage side for that, calling the fight, and I thought an all-out brawl was going to erupt outside of the cage. It was unreal. We were I think we were about ready to head for high ground.
Yeah, well, Bill, our Bill, is one of the toughest guys I know. And whenever he gets in between two guys, you know it's going to get serious.
Right.
Yeah. Number 2. Or, no, go ahead. Number 2.
Oh, it is me, isn't it?
It's you.
All right. Well, okay, fine. Number 2, Tyler, the Daywalker Saltzman, and Charlie, the Madman Gathers, finally square off in the cage at Complete Devastation MMA 7. And I'll tell you what, that was just the hype leading up to the fight was well worth it. It was an incredible bout. These two guys finally settling their differences and coming out as friends as well.
You could feel the tension between Altoona and State College. It was palatable.
Unbelievable.
It was so real. But when it was finally over, there was a sense of accomplishment and a sense that we'd witnessed something great happen.
And it was kind of a sense of loss, too, because we had talked about it, we'd been looking forward to it, and once it was over, it was like, oh, it's over. You know, we wish we could go back, and you can go back. Once the DVD is released, go to CompleteDevastationMMA.com for information on that DVD release very soon, by the way.
The number 1 event of 2012, I don't know if you agree with me or not, but it's when Daryl the Saint Horcher knocks out George Lights Out Shepard. From that fight, he won the lightweight title. He goes on to Bellator, and he wins. And he's on this track for the stars, and we saw it happen.
Right.
We saw a guy who was 13-6-1 fight a guy who was 4-0-0, and Daryl really tipped the odds, and I think that was one of the most substantial fights we'd ever seen in a cage.
It was a fight that wasn't supposed to go the way it was according to paper and according to the way the fight was going at the time. But from out of nowhere, Horcher just unloaded, knocks out Shepard to the point where Shepard didn't even realize he had even stepped in the cage.
He didn't know he was in Altoona.
He lost time.
Yeah. That was our 10 biggest moments of 2012. I'm looking forward to calling the 10 biggest moments of 2013.
I tell you what, 2013 is going to be huge. I think we may need to expand it to 20.
We might have to.
It's going to be incredible. Coming up, segment 3, the Spotlight fight. Not 1, not 2, but 3. 3 fights in a row from Complete Devastation. I'm excited. Complete Devastation MMA 4 in Johnstown, PA. And all 3 of them are coming up next on the MMA Rundown.
First, fighting on the red corner, standing at 5'5", weighing 145 pounds, from our good 0-0 from Team Contact Sports Club, Andrew and his opponent, fighting on the blue corner, standing at 5'4", weighing 135 pounds, also with a record of 0-0 from Team MJ Fitness, Matthew.
We are joined at ringside by my co-host, Mr. Drew Shannon. Drew, welcome aboard.
Thank you, Albert. Looks like we're going to have one heck of a great fight, and we are underway. First bout of Complete Devastation for the Cambria County War Memorial. Diversa getting his shots in.
Absolutely.
Right off the bat.
Boy, you're not taking any time either.
These guys trading punches. They are ready to fight.
These guys both... Oh!
That's it!
Wow!
Now, wait a second. And that is it.
Oh, my.
Greg Serb getting in there. Diversa doing a little extracurricular activity there.
Yeah. Our man there on the floor has no idea what's going on, has no idea what hit him.
I don't know what happened there either, but...
that almost had the potential for a flash knockout. He went down. He was still kind of defending himself on the way down, but...
all I know is Diversa knocked Boyer down.
Oh,
would not get off of him, and Greg Serb jumping into the ring and just stepping in.
Oh, he still has no idea what happened, but I tell you what, great job to Greg Serb and our referee for making sure that fighter safety was maintained the entire time. What a show of respect.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official decision, the fight was stopped at 21 seconds of the first round. Your winner by knockout in the red corner, Andrew.
What a way to debut a career. Congratulations, Andrew Diversa. That had to be one of the top knockouts that Complete Devastation Mixed Martial Arts has ever seen. What a way to kick off the night, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next fight is scheduled for 3 rounds. Introducing first, out of the red corner, standing at 5'11", weighing 170 pounds, making his debut this evening for Destruction MMA, Jonathan Gottschall. His opponent, standing at 5'10", weighing 175 pounds, out of the blue corner, also making his debut for Team Genesis MMA, Justin McCloskey.
Combination.
Again, Drew, welcome back to the announce table.
Thank you very much, Albert. We are underway with bout number 2 here at Complete Devastation 4.
Gottschall scoring early with the takedown attempt, but McCloskey is securing up with an attempt at a guillotine choke.
Both men, of course, making their debut tonight once again.
Gottschall is trying to get into a mount position, but McCloskey's guard is solid yet flexible, as it should be. Drew, it would not surprise me if McCloskey's going to try for an armbar attempt out of it. Wow. Good job by Gottschall by getting out and back to his feet. Oh! Excellent counter to that kick.
I'll tell you what, after that last bout, I am anxious to see what kind of a performance these guys
There's that armbar attempt I told you to watch out for, Drew. Oh!
And that's it!
Submission victory for McCloskey.
This is the second bout tonight. We aren't even out of the first round yet.
We're 2 fights, and I don't think we've even had, 3 minutes of cage action.
Wow. All right, well,
we're going to allow Drew Shin to get back to the cage for the official decision.
you know, like cardioing the night, I'll tell you what.
The hardest working man in mixed martial arts there, my brother. We're going to let it to Drew for the official decision.
Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee stopped this bout at 47 seconds of the first round. Your winner by count out by armbar in the blue corner, Justin McCloskey.
Tonight's night of action has been brought to you by Go Time Promotions. You really need to go check out their new expanded location, 931 3rd Avenue in Juniata, Pennsylvania.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout is scheduled for 3 rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, standing at 6'2", weighing 240 pounds, making his debut this evening, his opponent is fighting out of the blue corner, standing at 6'1", weighing 240 pounds with a record of 2-0-0. From Team Mark Schrader MMA, Clark Young!
Let's go! No games, Clark. Let's go. No games. Don't play any games. Let's go.
Clark Young's corner giving him instruction before the fight starts.
And here we go.
We got 2 big boys who are used to throwing. Clark Young's leg kicks are vicious, Drew.
Young is just a monster.
This is Young's third. Oh! Amateurs came to fight tonight, Drew.
Telling you what.
Clark Young is going for a
And
Kimura lock from Phillips being in a seated position. This fight could be. Oh, and we have a submission victory.
And that's. This is.
I'm telling you, Drew, I'm putting money down that any one of these amateurs could turn pro at any time.
Well, it's been nice getting a word in edgewise around here. I haven't said anything tonight.
I've seen a lot of you tonight.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Clark Young's fights usually go the distance, and this is his 3rd appearance in 4 Complete Devastation fights.
Unbelievable. The action, unbelievable here at Complete Devastation 4.
We're taking in Drew live for the decision. Clark Young, I really feel, is evolving as a fighter, and his last 2 appearances for Complete Devastation Mixed Martial Arts, he was pacing out fights, he was relying a lot on strikes, leg kicks, putting guys on the ground and working them over that way. It was never said that Clark Young couldn't do a submission, but tonight he proves he can do a submission at any time he chooses.
Albert, 27 seconds.
Clark Young looked across the cage of Phillips and said, "This is going to be over quick. Don't bother breaking a sweat."
Welcome back to the MMA Rundown. 3 fights, very quick bouts.
I felt bad for you, really. I mean, like, you're sitting down, you're calling fights, you're right back up. Like, I think if anyone got any cardio that night, you got the most of it.
I stole one of the judge's lines, and he gave me permission to do it. I got up in the cage and said, "These guys are fighting like they're double parked," and that was just it. A lot of quick fights that night, but excellent fights.
Yeah, it was a great night.
All right,
Mailbag?
Are we ready for mailbag?
Let's get into the mail.
Let's do mailbag. All right, our last question: if you had to choose between watching MMA and boxing, which would it be? The result overwhelmingly was MMA, and I can highly agree with that.
I want to love boxing. I really do. If anyone should, it should be like you or I. But it's just so hard to follow.
The Pacquiao fight didn't reel you in?
We're not going to talk about that.
All right, we're not going to talk.
I may or may not have lost some money on that fight, and if Mrs. Cameron's going to find out this way, thanks a lot.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, baby.
This week's question. Drew and Albert, what are you looking forward to in MMA for the year 2013? Any resolutions? That's from Julia in Tyrone. What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to guys who are local, guys that I talk to, that I text message, hitting bigger stages, and I think a lot of them are just right about there to do it. Any given moment, these guys are going to get picked up by bigger stages, and when they do, I'm going to be very, very proud of them. As far as the resolution goes, and I know you've witnessed me doing this a lot off camera, I'm going to keep my mouth shut a lot more. I'm going to think before I speak a lot more. I'm going to do that. I'm going to promise myself that I'm just going to take a second before I open my mouth or type something. How about you, Drew? What are you looking forward to 2013?
What I'm looking forward to is, I'm sorry, touching my face in Albert Cameron style. It's a tribute. I'm looking forward to more local fights.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing guys that are training in the gyms here in the area, not just achieve national status, but I just want to see them get the
just succeed.
I want to see them come and fight at the local fights, and I want to see them at the local level, and I want to say that I saw them when they were at the local level, when they do hit the national scene, because there's a lot of talented fighters out there.
Absolutely.
The other thing I'm looking forward to is more of the ladies getting involved in MMA.
Absolutely.
The last fight that we had, a Complete Devastation 7, Maggie O'Neill, Courtney Kern, lived up to the hype, and if that is a sign of things to come, then I cannot wait. I am glad the Mayans were wrong. 2013 is going to be a banner year for the females. If I have any New Year's resolutions this year, you know what? I don't know.
I mean, as your friend, I don't see any character flaws I think you need to work on. I think you're an excellent TV host and
I'd say I'd try to lose my gut, but I don't.
He's been giving it to me slowly.
I said that last year, and it didn't quite work out, so we'll have to see. But New Year's resolutions, that is kind of personal. We'll just follow me on Facebook.
2012 is done, and
Yeah.
What a great way to end it. I do want to thank a lot of people who were involved in bringing the MMA Rundown together. People who support us, people who watched. Probably the unsung hero of the show is our sound guy and our cameraman RJ, who is just constantly running and doing things to make the show work. And RJ, we really do. We appreciate you, big guy.
That's right, man. RJ turns at least 2 hours worth of work into a half hour.
Yeah.
At least a half hour, maybe 2 half-hour segments for you to watch every week. Also, we have to thank Jason Davis.
Yeah.
We have to thank Mike Kessling.
Absolutely.
Who else do we need to thank?
Thank you. I mean, you've done a lot for me over my career, and thank you for that.
Well, no problem. Thank you for coming on this journey. I mean, when I knew you, you were an intern at Magnum Broadcasting. That's where I first met you, and I kind of helped you become the broadcaster you are today. And what I see now, I'm extremely proud of.
Thank you very much. That means a lot.
He's gonna cry.
Yeah, I am. Stay tuned next week. We have the Best of MMA show because we're going to be celebrating the holidays like only we can.
That's right. Really quick, thanks to all of the guys behind the scenes at Complete Devastation. The list would go on and on and on for days. But just to cover it all, thank everyone, and especially thank you guys for watching. Keep watching, keep sharing the YouTube videos, and let everybody know that Sundays, 12 noon, ABC 23, the MMA Rundown is the place to be. I think there's a few things that we didn't want seen that are coming up next. Happy New Year.
We'll see you guys next year.
5, 4, 3. No. Don't count. 5, 4, 3. I'm Drew Shannon, alongside my co-host. He's a co-house. He's Mighty doing the MMA Rundown. Oh, that was good. Boop. Oh, the boop's gone. Boop. No, I do the boop.
He does the boop.
No, you roll. This year, that's gonna be painful.
You're going to have a bad day.
You're gonna have a bad day. Yeah. Oh no, I lost my ear. Oh no. What am I gonna do? I can't hear. Oh no, especially if that was your favorite ear. What would you do if you lost your favorite ear? Write us at hosts@themmarundown.com. Don't forget the "the," because if you don't use the "the," it's not gonna get to us. hosts@themmarundown.com.
Welcome back to the AON